And we are live, Rocco. How you doing, man?
I'm doing awesome, man. What's
I think
happening?
I think I asked you this 3 or 4 times as I've been trying to set up this live chat thing here.
It happens. I get asked that question all the time.
So we'll see here. I double checked it, so we should have chatting enabled. So hopefully we'll see a few Linux Quest viewers pop in here and say hello.
Yeah, that would be great.
So what are you running right now? You're still on KDE through Neon?
Can you believe it's been how long has it been? A few weeks. A whole
Oh, you
few weeks of KDE Neon.
you've got to be approaching a month.
It's been I don't know exactly when it was, but it's definitely been a few weeks. Probably the longest I've been on a distro for a while. But I have it
So
all set up and everything and
if you went back to the Big Daddy channel and looked when you first started doing all of the KDE tweak theme videos, was that all on KDE? That's been on the same OS the whole time.
yeah, that's been on KDE Neon the whole time. So let me see
Okay.
how long that's been. Oh my gosh, it's been longer than I thought.
Really?
It was the beginning of October. What?
No way.
Yep, the beginning of October. Can you believe that?
Wow. So Distro Hoppers Anonymous has worked for you, my
I'm
friend.
telling you, I think I'm cured. Except now. Now we're doing a challenge.
So I ran Antergos, KDE for a solid month.
Did you know that there's a whole video on YouTube just to answer the question of how to say Antergos?
That's right. And Terragos.
I'm just
Now,
saying.
I watched one. I went to how to pronounce. There's a website, how to pronounce,
Hmm.
and because of all of these super easy names in Linux that we have, to
Yes,
pronounce, you
they're
just
always easy to pronounce.
that's right. So I went and they listed it as Antergos.
Well, a guy by the name of Michael Tennell, who's pretty intelligent KDE guy, and he actually made a video on it, and it is well, okay. According to him, it is Antergos. So
And Terragos, yeah. And
I don't know.
Terragos sounds right, but I'll screw it up three or four
It's
more
okay.
times.
It's okay. I still say mate half the time.
Do you really? You
Well,
know, I
go ahead.
go. I was going to say I actually practiced and like just practiced over and over and over again to avoid saying mate. Once I heard it was mate.
Right. Well, it depends on who you ask too, because like the developers will say mate, and then other people will say mate. You know, I call it Xface, but it's XFCE. So
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I even messed up Ubuntu.
yeah, well then there's a whole nother area on that because some people say Ubuntu and like you do, and then if you look,
Ubuntu.
yeah, if you look it up, then there's other people that will say Ubuntu. So and that's the correct pronunciation. I don't know. Hey, look, I'm just a regular guy, man. So I say it
That's right.
the way I need to say it.
I've heard some pretty prominent people call it Ubuntu with just a U, and
Right.
so what I boiled it down to, and I think like you, whatever you want to call it, whatever works, you know.
Well, it's the same as the whole Linux GNU Linux thing. I mean, I understand the concept of saying it the right way so that it's across the board, and I understand the meaning behind it. But when it comes down to it in everyday life, like you don't call it when you say you're going to go watch a TV show. You don't say I'm going to go watch the television set. You say I'm going to go watch the TV. So
That's right.
it's just
Yep.
about being normal.
Yeah, I agree, and I think most people accept it just fine when you say Linux. They know
Yeah.
what you mean.
They know what you mean,
Every now and then I'll throw out GNU Linux or GNU/Linux,
right?
so that people understand that I understand
Right.
what it is, and because at some point we all have to realize that saying GNU/Linux to someone, hey, you want to try this new operating system GNU/Linux?
Yeah, that's not going to work. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, I had been running KDE Antergos for a month, and then you and I, at some point, I want to say what, maybe 3 weeks ago,
2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks ago, we kind of came, and I think it was your idea, actually. I'm going to pin this one on
It
you.
was because I wanted to drag you back to Ubuntu.
That's it. That's it. So we had kind of a distro challenge, if you will.
Yep.
At the time, I think we had decided or agreed maybe that we would both stay with KDE on the distro challenge, which is to swap distributions. And basically, you would use what I was using, which is Antergos KDE, and I would use what you were using, which was KDE Neon, which is based off of Ubuntu or
Right.
Ubuntu, and so we kind of agreed to do that. Now we're going to have to talk about the length of time.
Well, it depends on how long you can last having to add PPAs.
Let me see here. I'm gonna do a chat message real quick before I answer that question.
Don't hesitate now.
So, in order to give it a real fair shake, I think in all honesty that it should. Now, this is not showing up live right now. Well, we're not going to stop it. We're just going to continue on. But
Let's just continue on.
if you pop over to your phone, can you
Yep.
see? Can you see if it's showing up live in the Linux Quest channel?
Let me see here. If only I had a faster phone.
Christmas is around the corner.
Yeah. It says live.
Okay.
Yep, it does say live.
Well, we just don't have any viewers for the night.
Oh, well. We're the only two.
That's right. Two lonely Linux souls out in the YouTube universe. So I think, to be fair,
Yep.
that we should run it for 2 weeks.
Can you last that long?
I'm going to struggle. It's going to be difficult. I know it's going to be difficult.
I can last that long, but I don't know if you're going to be able to.
Okay, so if we agree on 2 weeks, then we've got to stay with. Well, let's see. If we agree on 2 weeks, do we have to stay with KDE? Meaning, so for the past week and a half, almost 2 weeks, I've been running Antergos GNOME edition.
Right.
And I've actually really gotten into it much more than I expected.
Well,
and I want to explain why.
Go ahead.
So I don't know why I decided. No, I do know why now. I remember why. I decided to install it because someone had a few questions on a video I did about 2 months ago.
Right.
And I decided to go ahead and install that to be able to go back and truly go through it and answer the question, I believe is why I did it. And then I started getting into some of the extensions and spent a little more time there, kind of really going in and getting it set up in a way that I thought would be, usable. And wound up doing a video on kind of customizing and tweaking, a little customizing, a little tweaking, and adding, a few extensions.
Which we had talked about before, that the extensions really open it up.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And that conversation proved entirely true, because just 3 or 4 of the correct extensions in place, or for me, the correct extensions in place,
Right.
really allowed me to get in there and start using it every day, real world work. And what I found, and you know how it is, a lot of times it's the little things.
Yep, it is.
And so the extensions opened it up for me and allowed me to kind of say, okay, this is not bad. And there's little things like the File Explorer. It's not as good as Dolphin,
No, it's definitely not.
but it's got some little built-in default features that when you get in and you start using it, you realize that it's really not bad, you know. And having the places enabled gives you kind of that same drop down you get with KDE.
Yep.
But it's not as flexible as KDE and not as configurable.
Well, look, I don't have a problem with I'm a KDE fan, obviously.
Right.
Most of my videos are on KDE, but I don't have a problem with going to GNOME and trying out, because the whole point of the challenge was not just to switch KDE, but it was to switch Arch from Ubuntu.
Right.
So it really doesn't matter which desktop environment it is. But I do have one question for you. So if we do this and we do the GNOME, do I have to stick with the default file manager, or can I install another file manager and use it?
Actually, I think it would be awesome to hear your experience installing another file manager.
Okay.
I think that would be great.
Because I think there's other file managers that may have a little bit more options. And I think even the Mate file manager, Mate file manager has more options than, and the one thing that I think I would miss the most from that would be the separate views for each folder.
Yeah, that's true.
GNOME doesn't have a separate view. You have to take whatever view you have, and if you change it, it's that way through all folders.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think that would be good, because you could then share your experience about how well that new file manager actually interacted with the rest of the OS, because you may find some limitations there.
Right. Yeah, there probably will be. But yeah, I'm perfectly fine trying out GNOME, because I've been wanting to try it out for a while. I just haven't got around to it. So
okay. Well, the nice thing is with Entergos, you'll get the latest. So it should be 3.22.3 or 2 at this point. Hold on one second. And I'll tell you, because I've got a system update that just took place. And I'll tell you what you're going to be working with. Let's see here. So we are at 3.22.2.
okay.
So pretty darn current. And it's actually
your Neon will be current.
That's right. That's right. And it's actually running really well. I mean, surprisingly well. I've run GNOME in the past where it just starts to feel like a dog after a while.
Right.
So, all right. Well, when are we going to start this? Are we going to start this tonight or tomorrow? So basically over the weekend, we'll each install the opposing distro and
the opposing distro. I'll be installing it tonight.
Okay.
Get started with it. So,
all right. Well, if you're going to install it tonight, I'll install it tonight as well. And so to be clear, I'm going to be doing a fresh install of KDE Neon.
Yep.
And you're going to be doing a fresh install. It'll be very fresh because it's Arch based. I just had to plug that in there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have a Linux document full of PPAs that you might need.
That would be great. Actually, that would be great. That would be great. So, I have a feeling at the end of this, I'm not going to miss PPAs.
I don't think you will. I mean, I installed KDE Antergos and GNOME last night on different drives just to check them out for anticipation purposes. And It Andergos is just pretty much awesome.
It is awesome.
I was so impressed with all the little things that they add, kind of like the little things that Mint adds, where
Yep.
you have the, I did videos on the little things like open as root in Dolphin, and all of that is all there, opened up to way more than just the open as root. I mean, you got open in the terminal, and you got tons of stuff that they added. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, I'll go ahead and do the install tonight, and I am looking forward to your reaction because I know how much I've enjoyed it. I
Right.
have a feeling that I'm going to miss Antergos, Archbase, Distro much more than you're going to miss KDE Neon. Now, I've got to say, it's not like I'm stepping out of a Porsche into a Pinto, right?
No, KDE Neon is the smoothest running KDE version out there on Ubuntu. So, like I said, I'm going to have to see about Antergos, but it is the smoothest on Ubuntu out there and stable, so you shouldn't have any crashes. So yeah, I don't think you're going to miss much. I mean, besides adding the PPAs, once you have everything installed, and you have it up and running, I don't think you're going to miss a whole lot, except for when you want to, like, if you want to try out new programs, then you're going to have to maybe add a PPA here and there. But initial setup wise, I think it may be a little bit more, but every day running, it should be the same.
Well, and the other thing I think I'm going to do is I've got a friend who's got a YouTube channel who went through all of the customizing and settings and all of those tweaks and things that you can do to KDE.
Yeah.
And if you don't know this, it's a Big Daddy YouTube channel.
Right. Well, I don't know
Check it
about
out.
you, but there isn't many videos out there on KDE, so that's good that somebody did that.
That's right. It's pretty awesome. So I'm going to spend some time on his channel going through and kind of going deeper into the tweaks and settings and things, because popping in and checking it from time to time, there's always something there that you didn't know about. No matter how much you do on something, there's always something there that you don't know about,
Yep. Even in the comments, there was tons of people that posted comments about little things here and there that you learn every day. It's awesome.
Yep. And I mean, that was for me just fun seeing, not only seeing the comments, because it's fun to see how many people like yourself didn't realize that, hey, you could go into this setting and actually change this. So keep up the good work. But this might be an opportunity for you for GNOME.
I think in the 2 weeks that I'm going to use it, I think I'm going to have to make some GNOME configuration settings videos.
Yeah. So I think that would be good, man. You could be digging into it deeper than, and plus you've got all these extensions to explore now.
Well, I will definitely be the first. That will be the first thing that I explore is the extensions, because that opens it up so much. I mean, we talked about it many times, but the little things that you don't think about that get put in, like one guy will make an extension that will allow you to do something that you wanted to do for the longest time, and hey, there it is. So even without doing it through the settings. So
Well, I thought about, as I was setting up the extensions myself, I thought, if you're going to learn programming, and that's something I have told myself I need to do, is I need to get in there and learn a little bit about development and a little bit about programming and that kind of thing, and I need to get started somewhere. It would be kind of cool to come up with an extension that fit a particular need that you had.
Yep.
And use that as your first app, if you will, or
well, learning to code things and create apps and stuff like that that's a deep process. I have a lot of respect for those guys who do that, because not only do you need a ton of patience, but you have to basically learn a whole new language. And if you've ever learned a language, you know that it's not easy to learn a new one. And then you have multiple languages that you need to learn in order to make everything work the way it's supposed to, so that you understand everything. So these guys are, hats off to these guys that do this, because And then on top of that, not only do they got to create this, but then they have all of the Linux people like me saying, "Hey, can you do this? Can you add this?"
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, you know, if you've been online and you've seen these app creators for your, you know, make your own Android app or make your own Android tablet app. And there's 3 or 4 platforms where you can go online and you can do that sort of using like WYSIWYG type commands where you drag this here, and it's all GUI based for the
Right.
most part. You know, that's just, that in itself is not an easy task to step through the process and make sure you've got the right fields in place and all of that.
Yep.
But would it not be awesome if there was some form of GUI/WYSIWYG based simple app creator for Linux?
That would be awesome, but I don't think that would ever happen, because I mean, I can just hear the comments of just learn the coding.
Right.
I can hear it.
That's
So.
right. I can too. Exactly. Earn your dues, you
Yes,
know, and learn the
exactly, yep.
coding and
Don't try to take a shortcut kind of thing. Yep.
right. That's exactly right. Well, man, we have both got new distros we've got to install.
We got some new distros.
And then, so 2 weeks from now, so what are you showing on your calendar?
I don't know. Let's see here. What do we got?
So I'm going to pull up the calendar. And you know what I think I did here, just for the viewers that are going to see this later. So I set this up as an event, not as a live stream now. That's probably why we're not seeing anyone in the chat session. So I messed up, Rocco. I apologize, buddy.
Oh, no.
I know.
Well, I'm looking at the calendar here, and I don't know. We may want to either do it for 1 week or maybe 3 weeks. I don't know. I mean, because the Friday's the 23rd. I don't know what you have planned as far as the holiday.
All right. So, yeah. So
that's
today,
up to you. I think I will be available, but I don't know.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Christmas. Well, I may be available on the 23rd. I can't think of anywhere we're taking off to. I don't think we have any long lost relatives we have to
go
over the river and through the woods for.
Well, the 23rd it is then.
All right. So 23rd will be the day that we recap our experience, share what we liked, what we didn't like. Perhaps at the end I say, no, I like this. I'm just going to stay with it.
Yep.
The heck with Arch.
Are you really going to say that?
No, I can't see it.
I don't think that's going to be the end result, but who knows?
All right, 23rd it is. Let's get to installing our new distros for our distro challenge.
All right.
I'm energized, man. I'm pumped.
I'm ready to go.
All right, well, we'll wrap this one up, and then next time I'm going to get this live thing correct. So
that's good. We'll make it.
All right. So have a great weekend, and if you don't mind emailing over that PPA list, that would be terrific.
I will do that for you.
You are the man. Have a good one.
See you, man.
See you.